And
All
go.
right. Hello, Nats fans, and welcome to another edition of the DoDCast postgame show. And today was quite the game, with the Nationals being the Cincinnati Reds 18-3. And boy, there was a lot of offense, and with so many guys doing so much at the plate. Did any one individual player stand out to you, Ron?
Goodness gracious. No, it was just a colossal team effort right from the get-go. Everyone eventually had a base hit of the position players. They just took their pitches. It was tough to watch Homer Bailey, who was a good pitcher. At one point, I mean, goodness, he threw a no-hitter in his career to come back. He was either going to have it or he didn't. And my goodness, did he not have it?
Yeah, as you said, today was Homer Bailey's season debut, and over the last 3 years, he's had 3 arm surgeries, and today he did not fare well in his debut. He managed to go only an inning and 2/3, allowing 6 hits, 8 runs on 3 walks and 2 strikeouts, which were both Bryce Harper, and he just didn't really look like he was seeing the ball well today against Bailey at all.
No, I was not surprised he was the first one to come out. They didn't really need it, and when the bench kept scoring runs, that was a good thing. But beyond that, I mean, everyone just kind of timed it so well today. I really think it was kind of a momentum from last night, and that big come out win. And Harper, you're entitled to have a bad day. I mean, he was the one that had the walk off last night.
Yeah, he had the walk-off last night, and he's played a lot. I think he might have been a little tired with a 4 o'clock start today, and those 4 o'clock starts at Nats Park, the shadows can always become an issue. So the Nationals did a great job in an atmosphere that possibly wasn't very conductive for hitting today.
The crowd looked pretty into it today until it got out of hand. The crowd actually looked pretty big. Not as big as last night, but certainly, they're drawing well right now.
Yeah, today was actually a sellout, which I was surprised. I wasn't expecting them to sell out against Cincinnati, but they had an excellent crowd out there today.
So why don't you run us through the totals, Drew?
All right, so Joe Ross got all the run support like he always gets, and he pitched pretty well. He didn't even need all the run support. He managed to go 7 innings, allowing 6 hits, 1 run on 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts.
It was good to see him. It was good to see him relax, because the first inning he kind of was gonna look like he was gonna have one of those bad Joe games, but they immediately got him runs, and it was good to see him relax and adjust and pitch with the lead and just kind of experiment and just the 1 run.
Yeah, I thought he did a great job today. He got into quite a bit of trouble, but he did an excellent job of staying relaxed and managing to work his way out. The 1 run he allowed was on a solo homer, so every time he managed to get himself into a jam, he wiggled out of it.
Absolutely.
And his slider, I really liked today. It wasn't getting as much movement as he usually gets on it, but it was a lot slower than it usually is, and so it provided an excellent mix of speeds.
Dave Yeagler on the radio in some previous starts kept talking about the fact that the lack of differential in speeds really hindered Ross, because if you're looking for, he throws a changeup, but it's only 1 or 2 miles an hour slower than a fastball. There isn't any difference. I mean, that's been part of the key for him, Drew, is being able to change speed with his pitches. And since he was able to do it today, he clearly was very effective.
Yes, absolutely. He did an excellent job of keeping the Reds hitters off balance and keep them guessing on what was coming. But after Ross, the bullpen came in, and Joe Blanton really struggled, as he has for most of this year. He pitched 1 inning, the 8th, and allowed 4 runs and allowed 4 hits and 2 runs, both of them earned.
He looks like he's toast. There's just nothing there. I mean, that's when you pitch him, is in a game that's out of hand. And, boy, it's sad. It really is sad, because he pitched so well the last couple of years for the Dodgers, too.
Yes, absolutely. I remember him when he was with a starter with Philadelphia, and he was never anything special. But since transitioning to the bullpen, he's been a pretty reliable reliever, and I was excited to have him this year, but it just hasn't panned out.
I thought at the time that was a pretty decent signing, but I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. And certainly in the case of Blanton, we both were.
Yes, absolutely. But after Blanton, Jacob Turner continued the excellent job that the bullpen has done from last night. He pitched 1 inning, it only took him 5 pitches, so that was an excellent inning for Jacob Turner to close out the game in the 9th inning. To the chat real quick, Al Red Sox fan says hello. Hello, I hope you're doing well, and thank you for tuning in today after this great Nats game.
Hi, Al. Hope you're doing well. God bless.
All right, so now that we've looked at the pitching, let's look a little bit at the offense, because I know that's what everyone was really excited about today. We had Trey Turner, who went 5 for 5 with 4 runs scored, 2 RBIs, and a walk. So he reached a base all 6 times he stepped up to the plate.
That's a career high for him, isn't it?
Yes, it is. His previous career high was 5 times. So that was an excellent game all around for Trey Turner. And he didn't steal any bases, but really he didn't have any opportunities with the Nats up so big. You're not going to show up the Reds.
No. When they were up 8-0, I mean, what's the point? That's how you get runners thrown, hitters thrown at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think he may have cut himself up a little bit on the play where Daniel Murphy sack fly and Turner tagged up to score. It looked like he got up, grabbing his leg a little bit and grimacing.
He hit home plate. It looked to be hard, but that was a little bit harder than I think he meant to slide. But you're absolutely right. He stayed in the game afterwards, and I didn't think anything else of it. But at the time, that was one of those moments.
Yeah, I think he's all right. He's just a little bit sore, but over the course of 162 games, you have little injuries that you play through. But he should be good moving forward, considering he stayed in the game today. Notable performers were Ryan Zimmerman went 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and 2 RBIs, and he actually reached base on a strikeout and pitch in the dirt. And I guess when you're going good, you're really going good.
He slowed down for a little bit, but yeah, he seems to have continued to find his range. And yes, you're absolutely right. When you're hot, and that stone wall is always tough when the ball bounces off it because you just never know. And he reached base easily.
Yeah, he had that, and he also hit the ball back up that deflected off the pitcher's mitt. And I thought off the bat it was a double play, but after it deflected, it was an easy single, and everybody was safe.
He doesn't have a great arm at first, but his range is very good.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. And Rendon also had a great game. He also had recorded a multi-hit game, going 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. And Michael Taylor, man, what a game for him. He went 4 for 5 with 4 runs scored and 3 RBIs on top of a phenomenal catch in center field at the wall.
Absolutely. Great to see. Great to see. I really think, Drew, he is playing himself into a position where he will be the opening day starter next year.
Yes, I think once Eaton comes back, I think they might put him in left coming off of the knee injury, assuming that Worth isn't re-signed. And yeah, right. Taylor has done an excellent job in center field, possibly trying out for next year's job.
Absolutely.
Back into the chat, Al Red Sox fan says, when you score that many runs, who needs a bullpen? Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Oh, man, some days you make it look easy. And in a case like that for Ross, it just took all the pressure right off him. They've given him, before this game, it was 10.15 runs to start, and he just couldn't get relaxed. And this is exactly what you wanted to see today. I got the big lead. I don't need to go out there and stress about pitches. Just go out and do your business, and that's what he did.
All right, so now let's take a look around the division. With the Nats playing an early afternoon game today, or a mid-afternoon game, there's not too many – actually, no, there's a few finals. So Miami lost 5-3 to the Cubs today. JT Realmuto homered, but that was about all the offense for the Marlins. And the Braves beat the Brewers 3-1. Those are the only 2 finals.
Atlanta's just not a team that's going to go away. I mean, they're not great by any stretch, but they've kind of hit that seed between your teeth type stage where they're going to annoy you.
Yeah, they're a pesky team. Every time they play the Nats, they always play them tough, and they're hanging right around 500. But, that's, I think, a lot better than anyone really expected from them this year.
Yeah, without question.
And then the other game that's going on within the division right now is the Mets and Giants are scoreless in the second inning. So that game just got underway a little bit ago.
Must be a Fox game.
Yep. And then, I'm sorry?
Must be a Fox game because they're in the West Coast.
Yes. And then around the minor leagues, right now Syracuse is tied 0-0 with Buffalo in the bottom of the second. The Harrisburg Senators, they're beating Portland 4-2. Jose Marmolejos hit his 7th homer of the game today. So that's good. He's been the Nationals minor league player of the year the last couple of years.
He's a good player.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him have a bright future, hopefully, in D.C. So, and Potomac is currently losing 3-2 to Carolina in the 4th inning. And Hagerstown is beating Greensboro 7-5 in the bottom of the 5th.
A lot of offense in that league. And when I read those scores, it's always 10-5, 10-6. You know, not a lot of pitching, but they certainly, Hagerstown has the best offense in the minor leagues, at least in the Nationals organization. Be curious to see how that core group of kids do as they come up the ladder.
Yeah, it should be fun to watch them progress through the minor leagues and hopefully eventually make an impact at the big league level.
Without question.
All right, so today up on the site, I had an article go up about Pat Neshek possibly being a trade target for the Nationals. He's been putting together a very solid season with Philadelphia and actually has the lowest ERA of all qualified relievers in the major leagues. And then, Ron, you had a piece go up about how the luxury tax could provide an obstacle for the Nationals moving forward.
Yeah, they only have $2.5 million to play with before they actually hit the tax. And with all the wants that the team seems to have, it's going to be hard to get it all fixed in without going over.
Yeah, and the learners have been a little reluctant to spend in the past, so that could definitely be a hindrance for them moving forward.
Right. So overall, what did you think today? You did the live tweeting, and then you're hosting this. I mean, what were your impressions on the day? Did you think that they actually picked up some momentum from last night? I mean, we've been waiting for this a while.
Yeah, I think last night definitely helped a lot. I mean, they were down big last night, and they managed to fight back and end up winning it on a walk-off, so that's always exciting. And then today, man, the offense, they just picked up right where they left off last night. So.
Yeah, without question.
And then tomorrow we have Tanner Roark facing off against Scott Feldman in a 1:30 start time.
I'll be with you.
So I don't know if Dusty will let a lot of the starters play tomorrow after winning the first 2 games of this series and winning today so big.
It is a big start for Roark because he has not pitched well his last few times out. I suppose probably if this might be where Zimmerman, maybe Harper sits out again, but we need to see where Roark is in his head, I suppose, after what happened Monday in Miami.
Yeah, absolutely. And they really need him to turn it around. They can't go into the playoffs with a 3-man rotation. Right now, Scherzer, Strasburg, and Gio are really the only consistent performers out of the rotation.
You would have gotten some serious money in Vegas if you had said that back in April.
Yeah. The chat one last time before we go off. All right, so Seth Ross said, I was at the game just getting back to the car. Yeah, that had to have been a fun game to go to. He said he even got a foul ball, so that's very cool. Exciting.
That's cool. Who did you catch it off of, Seth? Whose foul ball was it? You're going tomorrow.
He said he was sitting 6 rows from the Nets logo. Yes, I'm taking my dad to the game tomorrow. We got tickets for Father's Day.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. You usually sit left?
We sit all over. He likes to sit in the club because air conditioned. So we're sitting there tomorrow.
It's good air conditioning weather.
Actually, yeah, absolutely.
I saw yesterday in the game while we wait for Seth to tell us who actually hit the foul ball that the Nats are doing standing rooms for 65 for the entire month of July.
Yeah, I saw that. That's a good deal.
It really is.
So yeah, hopefully that'll bring some more people out to the ballpark. I saw today Dusty Baker was saying he wishes the crowd would be a little more into it.
Well, Game of Thrones night, that was pretty close to a sellout yesterday. And they were into it, and especially when they started to come back. Now with the Metro running, shutting down, I mean, it emptied out for extra innings. But when the crowd was there, that they were actually quite into it.
Yeah, they've had some big crowds against the Reds, which is surprising. But I mean, with the Game of Thrones night and then afternoon game on a weekend, I guess they'd have better crowds than if it was during the week. And then the Cubs coming this week, they always bring big crowds with them.
They should. The loudest I've heard that place in my short time with the team was on a Scherzer start. I mean, they really get into that, and that's when they need it. To get behind.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch Scherzer pitch.
All right, so I don't have the chat opened. Is that who hit the foul ball for that Seth caught?
Yeah, Seth just said that Trey Turner hit the foul ball.
Oh, isn't that cool? Isn't that
yeah,
cool?
It's exciting.
All right.
All right, so please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like our Facebook page. We've gotten that running, and it's a great page now. And then follow us on Twitter. At District on Deck.
There you go.
And how can they follow you, Ron?
They can follow me at Ron Juckett on Twitter.
All right, and you can follow me at DrewRD98.
All right. Drew did a wonderful job. This was his first time tweeting and his first time hosting. Yay, Drew. You'll certainly will see him again.
All right, so from Ron, Ricky, Brian, and Chris, and Frank, I'm Drew Douglas, and thank you for watching. Have a great night, everybody.